Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for Cat Chat Live this evening. My name is Nikki Jenkins. I'm the Senior Program Specialist for the Parent and Family Association. I apologize for our delay. Sorry about that little hiccup. I appreciate your patience tonight as we are working out some of the technology issues that we're having, but I feel like that's sort of the world we're living in right now. So thank you again for your patience. We are excited tonight to have some special guests from our UK Campus Housing here to talk with you about Move-In 2020 and to answer your questions live. So feel free to put those in the comment section and they will try to get to those as we go. If we can't get to all your questions today, we will definitely connect with you later on to make sure that you have the information you need to make your move-in day successful. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it on over to our special guests.
Is Ms. Ross, Associate Director of Auxiliaries, and we're presenting today the Live on Campus, the residential experience. And so what we want you to know is that when we worked on Move-In, we really had two principles that we followed. We wanted health and safety to be our backdrop in everything that we did. And so we have worked really hard on what we believe is going to be a good move-in experience for your student. The move-in dates and times, I'm going to turn over to Deborah.
Hello, everyone. Deborah Ross. Again, glad you could join us. So our move-in dates and times are quite different this fall than they have been in the past, those of you who may have had children who attended before. So we will be doing move-in over a 9-day period, August 8th through August 16th. And that is, again, to promote social distancing upon move-in. All students are required to do a move-in appointment. So you should check with your student and be sure that they have signed up for their move-in appointment. We have a few hundred who still have to do that. Our appointments most days are going to start at 9 a.m. and the last one will be at 4 a.m.
4 p.m.
Sorry, 4 p.m. Yeah, I don't want to go all night. So the 1-hour appointment when your student signs up for that is really just your arrival time, your arrival window to get to your unloading location and to get everything out of your car and onto the tables. So don't worry, once you get unloaded and move into the hall, you have plenty of time to decorate and take care of everything you need to do that day. So things to know. On the right side of the screen is what we call hall code card. Those are very, very important. You will be able to print those out from our housing move-in website, which is uky.edu/housing/fall-move-in-2020. But if you go to our housing homepage, it will be the first roving picture window on your screen, and you can click and get that. So you find your residence hall and your hall code card, and that is so we can get you to your residence hall unloading location. And this year we have added, if you could add your cell phone number, arrival time, and room number before you start unloading your car. As far as what you're bringing to unload, please try and pack in plastic tubs or bins. Those are the easiest to get on dollies and carts and just to handle instead of loose items. Watch the weather and dress accordingly. Look for rain. I can almost guarantee it will be hot. And wear comfortable shoes. And only bring the essentials to campus if you are within 3 hours of driving distance. You don't want to have to overload yourself on that initial move in, you can always come back and bring additional items. We are asking that you follow the color-coded route on the move-in map to your residence hall. And I know there's been questions about that. So on our housing move-in page, what to know, there is a campus-wide map that shows all the color-coded routes so you have an idea of where you're going to be moving into and what direction. And then there is an individual hall route that will show you in closer detail, specifically to your hall, how to get to your specific unloading area. We will have some streets one way or closed, so traffic is a little different around campus at move-in. So turn off your GPS once you get near campus, because you really want to follow that move-in map, but you can watch Maze for the road closures and look for move-in signs. They will be everywhere. Sierra?
Yeah, so wait just a minute here. I think, not sure what happened here. We are having technical difficulties. All right, so one of the things that we want you to do is when you arrive on campus is to look for our UKPD and traffic control folks out in the field. They'll have on vest. Mask will be required, so be sure and wear your mask. Again, that 1 hour move-in appointment is the time in which we want you to arrive on campus. So we're not asking you to get in and get everything fixed by them, but we are asking that you arrive in that 1 hour window. Please bring 2 guests, a maximum of 2 guests. And the reason we're saying that is we want to make sure that we're limiting the amount of people that come to campus for your health and safety. We believe that once you get there, it will take you about 10 minutes to unload your belongings. And when we say that, someone will be there to welcome you, to remind you where to put your belongings. They'll show you a table where you can put your bins and tubs. And then one guest will stay there with the belongings while the other one moves the car. And so that's how the process will work. So one of the things that we want you to know is that once you unload all of your belongings, what we want you to do is take all of those belongings to your room before you start to get everything settled. Sometimes what happens is you get up to your room and you get excited and you start, hanging stuff and putting stuff away, and the person out on the lawn is sort of stuck there. And so the process works best when you move in, you get all your belongings to your room, and then you start to decorate. To keep with the social distancing, we are asking that only one family be on the elevator at a time. It's important that we keep that space free for your family. We ask that when you move in to please stay the 6 feet apart that we have shared. Some carts will be available, so we will be wiping down the carts and have some carts and wipes available. But if you have a cart or a dolly, please bring one with you. We always have some plastic available because, as we know, sometime throughout that 9 days it will rain. And so we want to make sure that if you're unloading and it starts to rain, that we can, wrap your items. But if you have a tarp or plastic that you can bring with you, then we ask you, to be mindful of that. And then if you do bring cardboard instead of the plastic bins or tubs, to please remember that we do have a place for you to recycle your cardboard.
Thank you, Sarah. Some other additional things to know is watch for no parking zones. So the proximity to the halls We don't have a lot of concrete, so we generally have those marked as no parking meters bags. So they're only there for the move-in purpose. But after your students here, be sure and remind them not to park there overnight, because we will be patrolling those, and we don't want to tow anybody, because we'll need that same concrete space the next day for more families and students coming in. And speaking of parking, I forgot to mention that on that big move-in map and the individual maps, it will show you where you can park specifically for your hall. So one of the nice things this year is we're not using the stadium. We have found approximate parking for all the halls, and they are labeled on the map which parking lot will be yours. We are asking for about a 2-hour limit. We'll be flexible with that, but we want to be sure there's room as more and more families come in. But you won't have far to park, and then whoever is parking that car can just walk back to the hall. So another question that's been coming in quite a bit are the ID cards. So as long as the students have uploaded their photo and paid for their student ID, they will receive their student ID at the front desk of the residence hall when they check in. So again, if your student has not done that, please have them go to the Wildcard ID office website and, check with them and try and complete that so that your ID will be there. But we don't want you to panic. The goal for move-in is to get you moved into the residence hall. So if for some reason you have not been able to get your ID processed, so it's at the hall, they will have temp cards just to access the rooms, because all of our student rooms are accessed by their Wildcard ID. So they'll be able to get in, and then, within 24, 48 hours, they will need to go to the ID office and pick up their actual ID. Again, bring bottled water with you to stay hydrated. Again, because of COVID and the social distancing, we are not going to be having bottled water available. Wellness kits, those have arrived on campus. We are actually in the process of beginning to distribute them to the residence hall rooms tomorrow. So each student on their bed or in their room, I can't promise it will be on the bed because I'm not literally putting them there, but at least in the room, each student will have a wellness kit. And the picture is pretty much, what's in there. So there's a couple of masks, a mask carrier, got some hand sanitizer, a thermometer, some wipes, and then just some general health information. And don't forget that K-Week starts the evening of August 13th. So we have arranged our move-in appointments so that all new freshmen and transfers will be able to move in by the end of day, Thursday the 13th. So I encourage your student to participate.
We have a quick question, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Sure. Can you clarify for families when students are going to be picking up their Wildcard ID? Is that something that happens at move-in?
Yes. So if they have submitted their photo and paid, their UK Wildcard ID will be at the front desk of their residence hall. So when they go to the desk to check in, so they'll probably need to have, that's actually a good point to stress, because usually have their IDs to show who they are. So they probably want to have a driver's license or something to verify who they are, but they will get it then. But if for some reason, again, you do not have the Wildcard ID at the front desk, they will give you a temp access card so you can go continue to move in, and then you will go to the Wildcard office, which is in the Student Center, and pick up or finish paying or doing whatever it is that you need to do to get your card. And actually, we will find out. I know they have their hours listed on the website, but for the move-in weekends, I'm anticipating they may have some additional hours open, so I'll make a note to check on that. Thank you, Nikki.
All right, so we have the big move-in map, and I know it's really busy, so you'll see all of this work on the map, the color-coded routes for each respective hall. You'll see that for each respective hall, after you unload right in front of your hall, there will be approximate parking really close to each one of your halls that you'll move to once you've unloaded and moved in. So that's part of the process. You'll drive up, you'll unload onto a table. Someone will go get a cart, someone will stay with the belongings, and then someone will move their car. And so you'll see as we go through the process that there's also a specific route for each hall. And so what we did when we developed the map, we knew that that map was busy. So we want you to have it, but we also want you to have the individual routes that are specific to your respective hall. So some things to just know is, do print your map off. Remember, the website is down here. If you're lost, if you have any, questions as you come in, certainly reach out to us through this. There will be someone in our emergency management operations that will answer this particular phone. So if you're en route, you run into traffic, those kinds of things. If there are traffic delays, they will be announced on Waze. And so that's one thing that you'll know. And it has a quick checklist of when you come in, be sure and put that hall code card on your dash. Follow the route to your residence hall. As you're driving up, hold up your hall code card so that traffic employee will see you coming. They'll direct you right to your table. And then be sure to write your room number, your arrival time, and your cell number on that hall code card before you put it in your dash and you start to, get unloaded. And the reason that we say that is for some reason you get in the hall, something happens, and we need you to move your car or communicate with you. If you have all of that information on your hall code card, we'll be able to get back in touch with you. And then finally, we want you to park until you're decorated and ready to go. So as I said, on our housing website, there will be a route specific for your respective hall. So say you're coming into Ball Hall or Children Hall, this would be the route that you would follow to come in to get unloaded to your hall. And so then once you're unloaded and all of those things, then it shows you where you park and all of that information on your map. And so again, it has these reminders and all of that. So go to the website and be sure you look for your specific move-in route.
All right. Oh, yes. Another question.
Yes, we have another question from a parent. They would like to know if the kitchens in the residence halls are going to be open this fall, the communal kitchens.
The communal kitchens, I believe, will be open. Right now, the way that would work is that they would be reserved. And so in other words, it wouldn't be open for anybody to just go in at their leisure, but rather if you wanted in the full kitchen, you would sign up, say that you needed to go in there. You would go in, you would cook, clean, do whatever you need to do. But then as you leave, you would wipe down all of the areas that you had touched, doorknobs, refrigerator, range, all those things. And then you would let the hall director know that you're leaving, and then that would be locked until the next person goes in. And then the cleaning of that kitchen would happen by the hall staff twice a day. So that is something that will be happening.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, move-in signs that we mentioned, they will be everywhere. They will be in the color as per the map, so they're color coded, as well as they have the hall names on there and directional arrows. So as you get closer to campus, be sure and look for those signs. And you may have noticed on our map that North Campus pretty much from Limestone turns on to Maxwell, and that's how you're going to get to your North Campus halls. And I know if you're not from here, it probably means nothing, but I know you'll be studying. The rest of the halls, save one, will come in off Cooper Drive, which is off South Limestone as well. And then we've got Hagen that's going to come off South Limestone. So you find South Limestone, you will be good. Our maps will get you the rest of the way.
All right, here are the move-in, unloading, parking after unloading. So as we said, prior to this particular move-in, what would happen is you would move in, you would have to move your car to Kroger Field, and then you would ride a bus back. And that's the way we got you back to the halls, because masses of people would be coming in at one time. Now that we're only bringing a certain amount of people in every hour, we've been able to work with parking and transportation to get this proximate parking that is really close to the residence hall. So now you won't have to ride that bus back. And so we're really grateful for that partnership. And so if you are at Blazer or Boyd or Holmes or Jewel on the North Campus halls, you will park in the new Cornerstone Garage, parking structure 5 on Hupper Street, and you will enter on Hupper Street. So once you unload, someone with you will take your car there, and then it's a short walk back to those halls on North Campus. If you're in Donovan, Hagen, or Johnson, you will park in the Rose Street Garage. That's parking structure 2, and you will enter that garage off of Hilltop. And that we ask that you please park on the 3rd floor or up after you've unloaded your belongings. Then for Ball and Chelgren halls, there is a parking lot right across from Ball Hall on Woodland Avenue. And so once you get unloaded, one of your guests will take your car there. Baldwin, Ingalls, Smith, Woodland Glen 3 and 5 have several lots right around those respective halls that you can park in. One is on Sports Center, one is the Sports Center Garage and Green Lot at Kroger Field, and then parking structure 7. And so once you drive in, there will be someone in those respective areas that will greet you, remind you where you unload your belongings, and then remind you where you can go to park. But all of this presentation will be put on our webpage. So, and it's all on the map. So you might want to print all of it off and then just know that that's where you park. And then finally, the University Flats and Lewis halls will park in the library surface lot right across from the 90. And if you've been to campus, you probably know the 90 is one of the dining halls on South Campus where you will be able to eat on campus.
All right, what to bring? That's always a long list. Especially I had a daughter, so I can verify it's much larger load than when my son went to college. But you definitely want to bring your linens. Baldwin, Donovan, Ingalls, Johnson, and Smith all use the twin extra long. And then basically the rest of the halls use the full extra long. So be sure on both to get the extra long because they are that extra length. And if you use a fitted sheet, you will need that extra long length. You want to contact your roommate so you don't bring duplicate items. Just kind of talk, especially for the common areas, talk between yourselves and decide who's bringing what. And then we also have a full list on our fall move-in website for what to bring. And then with that is what not to bring. Every room will have every suite will have a micro fridge or a full-size fridge and microwave, which a micro fridge is a combination microwave and refrigerator. So you do not need to bring, and unless there's a medical justification that you provide, you do not bring an extra refrigerator. No heating elements, and that's of course for fire safety. No grills, candles, hot plates, toaster ovens, immersion coils for heating water, portable heaters, or incense burners. No extension cords, but we do allow the surge protectors. Those are the ones that have kind of the on-off, so you can, it will act as a breaker if something were to happen. No lamps with plastic shades because they do overheat and melt, believe it or not. And no pets except for service animals, ESAs, or fish in a 10-gallon tank maximum. And again, we have a full list on our fall move-in website of what not to bring. And I think we have another question. Okay.
We do. We have a couple of people who are wondering about visitation policies after move-in for parents and families. Do you have any information that you can share on that?
Sure. As you can imagine, it was really a hard decision that we vetted with the infectious disease folks and what have you. And so there will be no visitation until September 7th. And that is to get everybody in, get everybody settled, and those kinds of things. After that, if you're a UK student or a BCTC student living on campus, you will be able to come in and visit and have guests. And so that will be something that is lifted as long as the virus, stays away and holds its course. What we know about the virus, as you all know from watching the news and the changes that have happened on the media and state closures and travel bans and those kinds of things, this is our current plan. We're very hopeful that once everyone gets settled and everything is going well, then we'll be able to lift those policies and they won't be as strict as they are once they are first started.
Can you give us that date one more time?
I believe it is September 7th. So when you move in, you can bring 2 guests. They'll be able to help you get settled. And then after that, you will not be able to have guests until September 7th. And when I say you won't be able to have guests, please know that there's going to be plenty of places to visit on campus. There are going to be a lot of large tents that are purchased around the residence halls with some seating that is, far apart where folks can gather and be together, but be in that open air. So there will be places that you can come and visit. You just won't do that directly inside the residence hall. All right, our 24-hour call center. So what we know about the halls is that we work very hard to have them cleaned and maintained. I'm sure you've all seen them. They're very beautiful, granite countertops, sinks in each room. The suite share a bathroom. You have wonderful mattresses, memory foam in each room, the micro fridges, etc. But we also know that brand new homes can sometimes have some maintenance issues. So what we want to do is always provide a place that, if for some reason you get inside your room, there's any maintenance questions, concerns, there's someone available 24/7, 365 days out of the year that answers this maintenance call. As well as if for some reason you get in your room, you feel like it's not clean to your liking, there's something that was missed. Obviously, again, we work very hard to make sure that that doesn't happen. But what we do want to make sure of is that before you leave, you're pleased with your room. So that is available. And then, okay, sure.
We have just a quick question, and it's kind of a specific item that one of our parents wants to know about. Do you allow air fryers in the residence halls?
We do not. We do not allow them now. I did have someone who had an eating issue, like a gluten allergy. I'm not sure what it was. They submitted some information to our DRC and asked for special approval, and I think that that was granted. So if there are specific questions like that you want asked, I would reach out to the Disability Resource Center and get those questions answered. And so lastly, we want you to know that when you get on campus, one of the things that you may want to do while you're here on campus is to get your books ordered. And so our UK bookstore makes that very easy. You can go online through your link blue, simply bring down your schedule, click the books that you need, choose rent to buy, select what you need, and then have those ready and free to pick up directly inside the store. And then lastly, we know that we went through this information really quickly because, well, we had some technical issues at the beginning, but we are available to answer your questions. We are excited about you coming. We know that, it's a challenging time. I have a daughter who's coming to campus, for the first time as a new freshman, and she's really excited. If you could see my house, you would see all the plastic bins that are being filled and waiting for my daughter to come to campus. So like many parents, we are, excited and anxious, but we believe that when you live on campus, you have access to things that you simply do not have off campus. There's tutoring, there's academic support, there's programming, and there are things to keep your son or daughter engaged. And so we look forward to your arrival and look to see you soon.
Sarah, can you speak a little bit to the cleaning procedures that UK Housing went through for all these rooms, specifically about carpets and common spaces?
Sure. So, every year we work really hard to make sure the rooms are clean and ready every year. But with COVID, we did our, an extra cleaning in that. At the University of Kentucky, we have a department on our campus that is environmental health and safety. And so they are experts in guiding us and cleaning everything. And so they have come in and given us the cleaning procedures for all of the halls. And so all of the halls are being directed by that process and should be very clean when you come in.
I'm sorry, I'll just add to that real quick too on the cleaning, that once the students are here, all the custodial staff will be sanitizing all the high touch areas multiple times a day. So just reassure, that we will constantly be continuing those cleaning protocols.
Now you will have to clean your own room. So everyone will have their own private bedroom, and everyone will have their own private sink, and you will share your bathroom. So you are responsible as roommates to make sure that you keep, those, things clean and agree upon, but you'll have your own bedroom, your own sink to do that.
Great. And can you just share any information that you have? I know that there are lots of teams working on this, but any information you have regarding the housing that is designated to quarantine for COVID-19?
Right. So what the university has done, as you all can imagine, is we've spent a lot of time researching, working with infectious disease experts across campus. We've done a lot of research with our colleagues across the nation. and have really come up with what we believe to be the a good plan. So what will happen is when you come to campus, everyone will be tested. And that process will happen between August 3rd and the 22nd at 2 o'clock. And so everyone will be tested. The other thing that will happen is that, if you live in Kentucky, for whatever reason, we have allergies and other things that sometimes happen. And so we know that someone is not going to be 100% safe. They may get a cold, they may have allergies, those kinds of things. So there will be a process in place where you use that healthy kit that we talked about that has the mask, the hand sanitizer, the thermometer, the instructions on what to do. And so that person will be able to reach out and, speak to someone about having, another test done. So say that your son or daughter needs to quarantine or self-isolate in their room, they will do that directly in their room as long as they're not COVID positive. So you're just not well, not 100%, or you're waiting on some test results. You'll be able to stay directly in your room because you'll have your own private room. But for some reason you are sick, you are COVID positive, what we want you to know is that if you can go home and you want to go home to respite, we want you to. Obviously, we know that that's not going to be applicable to everyone because some folks may have, elderly parents at home, or someone that lives with them that has a compromised immune system, or they simply may not be able to go home because of travel restrictions. What the university has done is they have set aside rooms available to make sure that you could go there and, to take your books, a few belongings, and go there until you're free to come back to your res hall.
We have a couple of families who have just a few more specific questions, because you said, bringing a few items with you to the res halls if you do have to quarantine. Will there be anything provided in the residence halls like linens or soap, or how will they get items that they need once they're in quarantine?
Right. We are going to provide the linens and the soap, the shampoo, and those kinds of things in each room. So when you would bring a few things, you would just bring, some night clothes, some casual clothes to sleep in, to hang out in, your laptop, your books, those kinds of things. But you wouldn't need to bring, your toiletries or your linens. And those will be changed out weekly. So, you'll get a new set every week that you're there, and hopefully you won't be there long.
Yeah, and I will add to that as well that UK has a health core that they are creating. So if a student tests positive, someone from that particular team will actually be contacting the student, and they will check in with them every day to see how they're doing, be sure their symptoms aren't worsening. And then we will also have someone who is, checking on the students as far as their, say, the shampoo needs and all that kind of stuff. So there will still be contact.
All right, I just want to encourage any parents or family members who are watching, if you have additional questions, you can post them in the Facebook page, the YouTube page, or the Facebook group. We are monitoring all three. Want to make sure that we get your questions answered. We do have one about mailing items to students who might be in quarantine. Will we be able to do that?
Absolutely. No, we haven't worked that out, but obviously there will be mailboxes at each place, and can work with you to get, a mail package to your student.
All right, I think that we have answered most of the questions. If we missed your question, we do apologize. And again, apologize for our technical issues earlier. Facebook wasn't our friend today, but that's okay. Usually works really well. If you continue to have questions, feel free to put those in the chats and we will monitor those and make sure that our friends over at UK Campus Housing get those questions and help us to get all of your questions answered. We know that, this is going to be maybe a more difficult transition than it has been in the past. And we want you to know that we are here to take care of your students, and we want them to have the best experience that they can. And so if there is ever something that they need, or if you do have other questions, please reach out to us either at the Parent and Family Association or at Housing. And do you have the contact information for Housing? What's the best way to get a hold of someone in Housing if someone has a question?
Sure. The best way to get in touch real quickly is to write ukhousing@uky.edu. And so that email is available. There's somebody that monitors that all the time. And so ukhousing@uky.edu. Now, we also have an FAQ on our housing website. We'll load this presentation to that website. The hall code cards will be there, the individual routes, the map, all of the information that we covered will be there. You can get our contact information off that website as well. So if you wanted to write me directly or Deborah directly, you would be able to do that. We love to talk to parents and families. That's what we do and what we love. And so if you have a question, please feel free to write us. We look forward to you being here. We hope that you enjoy the last few weeks, or a couple of weeks, I guess, with your family and make those memories. And what I would encourage you to do is just enjoy the moving process. It is hot, it is moving, but it's that day that you'll always want to look back on as pleasant. So, pack your things, make it fun, and we can't wait for you to get here.
All right. And Sarah, can you show the very last slide of the presentation?
Sure.
There should be one, the one after your questions.
Oh, the one after my questions?
Mm-hmm. There should be one. Nope, there's not.
Whoa,
That's okay.
Whoa. There we go.
There it is. Yeah. So just so that in case you're watching this live and you would like to watch it again and get some of the dates and really juicy information that they shared, you can find that on the Cat Chat Live website. We'll be posting that later this evening. You'll be able to watch it there. And again, if you have additional questions, feel free to reach out and let us know. We thank you so much for being here tonight and hanging with us as we work through everything. And we're excited to see you. And so welcome to the Wildcat family, and we will be seeing you very, very soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye.